Hello everyone, it's Daryl, and we're here in Havana, Cuba at the Museum for the Liberation, and it's also the former presidential palace and the location of the military vehicle museum along with the Grandma Revolutionary Yacht Restoration Museum. Worn by Che Guevara, Fidel's military commander during the planning and execution of the revolution. You have the receipt, right?
Yep.
This was the former presidential palace here in Havana, and I'm standing next to President Lincoln here, which I totally unexpected, but the last president to reside here was Fulgencio Batista before the revolution.
Ooh, look up.
Oh, yeah. I'm guessing this has been repainted since the revolution, but it's still very cool.
Look at the picture of the revolution up there. The mural.
I see it, yeah.
Wow.
Look at the dome. Can you imagine being up there on the scaffold and eating that duck?
Wow.
No. Every time in Cuba they do it off the ladder leaning against this. I'm wearing my University of Detroit Mercy basketball t-shirt today, courtesy of my son Dominic, who is the assistant head coach there. And he's traveling in China right now, so he couldn't be with us. But this is the Banquet Hall of the Presidential Palace. And it's just stunning. Just awesome. The formal dining room for the Presidential Palace. And you can see pictures here from when it was in use, both empty and with guests in it. And now we'll go in now, enter into it now. We'll see how beautiful it still is.
Artwork is amazing here.
You would think you're in Italy or France or something, or Spain. This is beautiful. Very old switches here, off and on, push button. This from the revolution, a grenade for a launcher and a hand grenade, along with a pocket watch of a well-known priest who joined the revolution. Pictures, yes, lots of revolutionary photos.
Very cool.
This was made to smuggle weapons from one place to another. They put two pistols in it and transport them without being seen.
Jose Marti International Airport, which we were actually at a couple days ago. 1958.
Che Guevara's office telephone. A guitar on exhibit from Coco Peredo. I don't know who Coco Peredo is. This guitar is here.
We'll take a look out the balcony here. It's beautiful. Havana.
This is Che and Fidel. I'm not sure. No, that's Che on the right. Commander Che Guevara and Camilo Cienfuegos. Go outside to the large outdoor exhibit area that features an assortment of military vehicles used during the revolution and a memorial to the Grandma yacht, which ferried Fidel and his top leaders back to Cuba from Mexico at the beginning of the revolution.
Wow.
This whole building is dedicated to the memorial of the Grandma yacht. And the yacht was the one that ferried, you mentioned earlier, Fidel and his top leaders. Ready? All right, here we are. This is the Eternal Flame as a monument to the soldiers of the revolution. This is one of the jet engines from the U-2 spy plane shot down during the alleged October incident between the U.S. and Cuba, when the U.S. was violating Cuban airspace by operating spy flights over the country. That's on the end of there. Alright, this B-26 was piloted by an American soldier who was shot down and died here during the Bay of Pigs invasion, and he was left here by the U.S. government for 19 years before the U.S. admitted that he was a U.S. military personnel. The T-34 Russian tank developed during World War II. It was one of the best tanks in the world at the end of World War II, and was also used by the North Koreans when they invaded South Korea in 1950. It was seriously better and outgunned all of the U.S. forces at the time. It was the best tank on the market in the early 50s. Fidel received these as support from the Russians and used them during the revolution. Military staff car was made in Pontiac, Michigan, most likely, probably by one of my family members from a generation or so ago who worked there. We have an assortment of military airplanes here that we used during the revolution. A lot of these are former U.S. planes, I do believe, but we'll go up and have a look.
Navy USA.
Yep, this is a USA Navy plane. Used belonged to the Navy here during Batista's dictatorship, seized by the rebel army.
Back in November 1958.
Yep. And then the British plane, Sea Fury, which was also used by the rebel forces in the Battle of Playa Girón.
Made in England.
Made in England. Tell it's an aircraft carrier-based plane. Retractable landing gear, most likely. I think I did that out. That may not be true. The Pontiac was used to carry weapons from Havana to Las Villas province. The Jeep was utilized by Commander Bosque at the Eastern Front and seized from Batista's troops. And the Toyota Jeep was used by Raúl Castro on the Eastern Front. This truck was used to smuggle rebel soldiers here to the presidential palace for an assault on the palace in March of 1957. And it still has been restored, but it still left the bullet holes intact.
Wow. Very cool. When did you say that?
Oh, it's interesting, yeah. The rebels were very inventive and dedicated. They built this homemade tank out of a tractor, bulldozer type vehicle. Heavy plate steel like you have on a ship, welded together with gun ports and vision ports. And this one was never used. The revolution ended before it could actually be used. There's another example of the same kind of vehicle they made here, a larger bulldozer that has been converted into an assault vehicle. It's severely enclosed and encased in protective steel, both above, below, and all around. Possibly to protect it from hurricanes or weather. There can't be any reason to protect it from vandalism. I think there's really not that much vandalism here in Cuba, and no one would vandalize a national treasure like this, so I don't really understand, other than possibly the weather, the severe covering and protection that's being given. A private luxury yacht built in 1943 to fit 20 passengers was taken over by the revolutionaries and led Fidel with 82 of his men from Mexico to Cuba to restart the liberation in December of 1956. The yacht was placed here in 1976 for the 20th anniversary of the event, and it was just fully restored and redone a year ago. Here in front of the Museum Revolution, and this is the pretty interesting artillery piece. This is a self-propelled artillery cannon, 100mm caliber, that was served to repel the Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961. And Fidel himself commanded this tank during the battle. I should say this artillery piece, close enough, right?
Yep.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on our little stroll around the Havana Museum of the Revolution and the former presidential palace, which was amazing. Highly recommend you come here. $8 US for an American to visit. It is not necessarily handicapped accessible. It's just a cool place to see. We hope you'll check out all of our other Cuban adventures on YouTube as well. Hit that subscribe button, like and share the video if you can. And make a small donation to Patreon to help fund further traveling by Doug and Daryl.